Okay, share screen, share. Okay. All right, so over here, we're going to download, actually, we don't have to download anything. We're going to use PyCharm, which is already installed. And you remember in Canvas, let me go up here and show you. This is small up here. I'm taking that off. Okay, so when you go into our assignment here, everything's so much bigger on here. I have to get used to. Okay, when we did this one, variables, some of you have done this assignment and some have not. But this guy, this tutorial, he shows you how to install Python and PyCharm on your own computer. So you don't have to come to the lab to do the exercises. And then you actually are required to do these little ones that he does, and then you take a screenshot of these 4 here. And that, I go through all of that on the video that I did earlier today. If we have time, I'll show it to you. But those are, that's if you want to work from home, you have to do this, and it's free. Python is free, okay? So you can download it to your PC at home or your laptop, and then you'll be able to do any of the Python assignments on your home computer. But right now, I didn't require any Python yet until Unit 8, which isn't due till September 9th. Not Unit 8, I mean Problem 8 in Unit 1. And we're going to look at that. But this exercise, he tells you how to get this same thing that is on this computer, how to do it. So let me see if I get this out of the way. All right, so we already have PyCharm here. So if you all want to do it with me, once you download, like he tells you to your home computer, you can create a shortcut out on your Windows desktop, or you can get to it here also. So, but they did give us a shortcut. So we're going to open PyCharm, and we're going to create a Python program the real way besides inside MindTap, okay? So PyCharm, the difference in it and idle, which I used to always use idle, was idle doesn't, you have to open a browser window to see your output. But so this one, when we run it, it's all in one thing. I'll show you. Do not import settings. That's click OK. And here, just checkbox I confirm, continue. Don't send statistics, so we don't need to do that. And when it opens, this is just shows you some things, so a tutorial, so just say skip. Now remember, if you go and watch the other videos, I explain that what we're doing with pseudocode and flowchart is generic for every single language. So is anyone in here programming major? Programming majors? Okay. How many cyber major? Okay, 2 or 3. Okay, engineering. That's who the rest are, right? Okay, so you will use Python in engineering, and you will use it in cyber. You probably in cyber won't use other languages. Oh, you're multimedia. Zachary's multimedia. I forgot that one. They will use, and Bree. Who else? Anybody else multimedia? I have 3 multimedia students. Forget, because logic is used for JavaScript, which is in web design, normally that's used more than Python. There are occasions in full stack developers where they use Python, but that's why the pseudocode and flowchart is the most important. Even if you can't make your Python run, if you understand the logic when you read a word problem and you can put the steps to solve it, that's the biggest part of programming. Putting it in a language, it's just like we speak English, other people, anybody else in here speaks another language?
Another two.
Two?
One Gujarati, one Hindi.
Okay, and do you speak French? Oh my goodness, language I've never even heard of before. Okay, so what programming languages are, but if you know how to say a word in English, then you learn it in other languages, but you know what the function of that word is. So pseudocode and flowchart is like knowing the basic function, but then learning the syntax of all those different languages and the rules of those languages. So scripting is the very easiest because it doesn't require compiling it into machine language. It uses what's called an interpreter, which is the browser that opens up Python. And Python is the most English-like language without having to know a lot of code, okay? So that's why we picked Python, just to make the class a little more applicable, where you can see how to make your pseudocode or flowchart actually work. Okay, that's why we use Python. But that's not the whole goal of this class, to learn Python. If you take script programming, you learn Python. That's what that class is all about, okay? But you can, through that tutorial that I gave you, that guy there that does that tutorial, he teaches you the basics of Python that you will even use in script programming. So we're going to create a new project. And then under that, it should have had a Python file. Where did it's a little different than on the Mac. Okay, so here it says untitled. Up here, untitled, that's where I want to name my program. So the one that we are going to do in Python is the one that says over here in, you don't have to flip over here. I'm going to show you something so that you understand what we're doing. Okay, in Canvas, you have an assignment called, oops, down here that says Unit 1, problem number 8. And it tells you that you're going to use these 8A that we're going to do today in class. We got 15 minutes? Yeah, I think we will. And even if we don't finish them, here's 8A, the PDF, which is the pseudocode and flowchart. And here is the Python that works, okay? Then you're going to do part B of that problem, which is in MindTap, okay? And we're going to flip over there and read it here in a minute. And you're going to submit the changes to this flowchart and pseudocode and the Python that's changed, okay? But the important part is that you do the pseudocode and flowchart. Okay, so let me go back over to PyCharm. So we're going to call it, it tells you to name it here. So we're going to name it what it said in your instructions, U1 underscore 8, and this one's A, we're going to do the part A. When you change it, yours will be part B, oops, and then I said to put your initials. Don't type your initials. You would be surprised how many do that. So my initials are DW, so I put U1 underscore 8A DW dot PY for Python. And now I say create, but it's not letting me for some reason.
You do put our initials or do not?
You do. I said don't type out the words.
Oh,
Your initials. Okay, so pure Python, why is it not? Let me see if this is more settings. I don't know what that is. Why is it? Oh, Oh, it says it's not a valid name for a project. Please use an alphanumeric project name. Oh, it's not going to let me put that underscore probably. Let me see. No? What does it not?
I think it's because of the extension.
Oh, it doesn't want the Python on there? Okay, it puts it automatically. Oh, you are right. Okay, you don't need to put the extension Python because it will do it. When we click create, we don't want the tips, so we can uncheck this and it won't keep showing them. Click close. Okay, so I hope this works the same because I should be able to say right click. Is it going to let me right click? Oh, it says there's updates. I'm not going to do them right now. Okay, so I should be able to say file. Let me see if it'll let me. Yeah, right click on this folder that says U1_8A in your name and click new, but don't put file. Go down here where it says Python file. Okay. Click where it says Python file, new Python file. What is it doing? I guess I haven't used PyCharm on this computer or something. Is you all doing that? Is yours doing all of this garbage here? Should have just opened up in this window. I don't know why it's not. Let me move this and see. Oh, it's generating the project or something? Updating indices. I've never seen it do that. Should have done it. Is installing React something. Let me go. Python interpreter is not accepted. I don't know. Let me see. There we go. Now maybe. But why is it? It should have opened that window up there. And I don't.
Minimize that, please.
What's that?
If you can minimize it, I tried it.
Minimize this?
Yeah. And run it again.
Run up here. Oh.
No, from the right click.
Right here?
No, on the file U1A8.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Do Python file again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. This is how it did on my Mac first thing up. So here we do U1_8A DW, pick Python file, but it didn't do it. Did y'all do it?
Yes.
It's fine. Search. Go to file. Oh, there it is. Now it's loading. It just took it a while, I guess. But I don't see where the should have the numbers too. They should be out here. Well, I don't know why this is doing this on the. There's the code. It should show me somewhere. Down, inspect, clean up. Okay. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to try typing it in here. Okay, so like my one, if I look at this one, see if it'll open for me. Well, it's taking it. Everything takes long. There it was. No, maybe not. Come on, load, load. There it is. Okay, so this is the problem 8A. This is actually what it is in MindTap. Okay, if you go over to MindTap and you read exercise 8 in chapter 1, unit 1, it will say enter an hourly pay rate and hours worked, and the program is to output the user's gross pay. Okay, so here's the flow chart to do that. Start. Now, this is sequential, even though my lines are kind of crooked. It starts here and ends down there. Input hourly rate and hours worked. So these are the names of the variables that I used in my flow chart. Now, if I'm going to use these in my flow chart, I'm going to use the same names in my Python. So I'm going to ask for input. So the first one was hourly rate. Oops. Rate equals int, and then I have to put a parentheses, input, and I'm going to ask the user to enter, please enter an hourly rate. Oops, these keys on this keyboard messed me up. Hourly rate, and this is what's going to print out exactly to the screen. Now, I had to put int here because whenever you ask for input in Python, it would put that variable in as a character string, which you can't do any calculations on. So I have to tell Python that when the user enters this, it's going to be an integer number. I know, I need to see if I can get this code. I know how to do it on the Mac. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it here. Edit the code. I'm supposed to be able to enter. Okay, let me see. Yeah, on the Mac I just do preferences and I can change the size, but comments, reformat code, maybe that's, nope. That didn't do it, didn't make it bigger. If you find preferences, somebody tell me if you find preferences, because they're in a different place here. Getting key map demos.
It'll be under file and then settings.
Right here, file,
Settings.
other, oh, right here, okay. File settings. There.
Change the font on the right. Or like font
Oh, right here. Okay. Use custom font and let's make it about 24. Yeah, and I think it doesn't change it on the output. I think I have to do it another place, but this will at least help you with the, there we go. It's going to be so big. All right, let me move this thing down, then you should be able to see. Oh, that didn't do it. It changed. It did not. Okay, it didn't change it changed something else. Okay, let me change that back up here because I can't, uh-oh, it's not going to let me get over there. Oh, if I say don't use that, it should reset. Let me see. No. Okay, it's down here somewhere.
Yeah, if you scroll down. Presentation mode.
It says 24 there in presentation mode. Okay, I'm going to have to probably send it to you or something. Let me. Now I can't even get it to scroll over. That's how, oh, I know why this is.
There's a scroll bar down at the bottom.
Oh, there was?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go there again. I couldn't see it.
Wherever it says cycles. There's a scroll bar right next to it.
Right where? Oh, right.
Underneath background image button.
Oh, right here. Okay. Now I can tell it back to a. what was it at 12? Apply. Okay. All right. I'll have
I found out how to do it. So go to settings and then preferences.
Oh, is there a preferences? That's what I was looking for.
Under editor, there's that drop down menu, editor.
Editor. Okay. And this one font right there. Right? That should.
No, click on general and then enable the change font size zoom with control plus mouse wheel. So second option on the top. Right. Yeah, that.
But that's just going to change it when I go over it, right?
Well, you can increase the font size just by like doing that control and mouse wheel. So it'll make it bigger.
Okay. I think I think I can do it here too, right? Or is that going to change it? Yeah, this is in the editor font.
Oh, yeah, but it works.
What he said?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I knew, but you got to use your wheel on every time, right? When you do it that way. Well, I'll try it. Okay, so just do this and click apply. Ugh. Boy, moving everything around is crazy. Okay. So by holding the control and using the wheel, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, there you go. Ethan, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's hourly rate. We got 5 minutes left. I might can get it in. The other one was hourly worked, which was WKED, right? Actually, what I'm going to do then is copy the rest of this, and I just won't change those words. Control C. Back here. Say Control V. Hourly worked, or hours worked, but I'll just say that for right now. And now I need to do my calculation, which for A was just, oh, it is putting my numbers in, but it's going to make me go down there, put my numbers in. Okay, and so this would say gross pay. I don't know if that's what I used in the flow chart. Equals hourly rate. Hourly rate. Oh, it gives me some hints. Hourly rate times hourly worked. And so then I only have one statement left, which would be my print. And because I'm not going to put a label beside it, I would simply say print gross pay. Oops, pay, but I have to spell it right. All right, so now I should be able to just run it here, and it should show up in this window below. Something's happening wrong. I don't know. Oh, there it's going. Using 4 workers. I don't know what it's doing, all this stuff. Downloading some kind of zipped file. Oh, that's because it says it's on an Android. I don't want it on an Android. Did y'all just do it? Terminate that. Terminate that. Now, it should just run. Some reason it's up here on an Android. I don't know why it was doing that. Maybe that's what it needs. Click the plus. I don't know what that's doing. I'm going to have to work on the pie chart that's loaded here. What it should do is run and give you the answer in that window below. And mine's stuck on Android. Let's see if I do that. Well, what's this? App. Does it just say Python? There, that's what I want, Python. But it's probably not going to let me do that. I don't know. I have never had all this on I don't have it on my Mac. My Mac's easy. Okay, let me see if that does it. No, it's still got Android up there. Thinks it's running on an Android. Does yours have Android default there? No. What does yours have?
Mine is just not showing anything. So add configuration, that's all.
Edit configuration. See, look at that. Platform, build and launch an application, Android, iOS. I don't want it doing that.
I guess I'm having a different screen. I'm not working on the black one.
You're not working on what?
Like the interface on that one, it's different than mine. I guess I'm going a different program, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to take this. Here's what I want to show you how to run. Control C. Surely they've got idle on here, I hope. Okay, I'm going to open it in idle because I know idle will work. Okay, so here I'm going to copy it and paste it, and I click run module, save. So it's going to make me save it as a name, which is going to be U1_8A DW, and it'll automatically put the Python on there. And now it ran. See, it says please enter an hourly rate. So yours did that at the bottom of PyCharm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put 10 for $10 an hour and say I worked 40 hours a week that week, and that's my answer. So that's what you're given, and then on the inside of MindTap, that problem B says, oh, it'll take me forever to get that up. But if you go to MindTap, part B tells you to allow the user to enter the tax rate. So you're going to have one more input to be able to do 8B. And then it says to calculate the net pay. So how do you calculate net pay if you have gross pay? You would take the gross times the tax rate, and then so that's another calculation that you add, and then you would take gross pay minus the taxes, right? The amount of taxes, and that would give you net pay. So you got two calculations to add to what we just did, and you would have one more input statement. So you would have one more input statement and two more calculations here. And then you would output net pay instead of gross pay, right? So that's part 8B. And we will look at if you have any questions on that, we'll look at it on that. We won't meet on Monday, so Wednesday you can work through those. Work through any of those problems at the end of chapter 1 if you're not understanding, okay? And be sure and go through different problems and understand when your input changes, when your calculations change, but there's still no decisions and no loops. It's just simply sequential. Start the program, figure out what your input is, do your calculations, and print your output, okay? All right. Yeah, we're 5 minutes past, aren't we? Okay, hopefully you guys don't have a class after this. Okay, stop recording.